hello. Hello, people. Hi. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good afternoon. Hello, hello. How are you today? My side, all good. I'm a bit sleepy. I didn't sleep much tonight, but apart from that, very good. Very good, very, very good. It's a beautiful day here in Italy with a blue sky and beautiful nature all around me because I live in a close to a park, and so I can see trees around me and all of that. So, yup. What do we want to do today? Well, apart from try not to fall asleep. What is my Winamp? Winamp is here. Okay. Oh, the volume. Okay, I think we are good. I'm missing the playlist, but I don't think I need it. Ah, there it is. Found it. Yeah, so we did some good work yesterday, right? Together on this story, right? I mean, it took a lot, but it took a lot because we analyzed different possibilities and different plot twists and such. And at the end, the story is as follows. In 664 after Iliacum, which is fairly close to the date where the players are today, the daughter of Themostes Salicarios, that was the actual Octarch, she was elected as the new Octart of the Dome. Now, it's not specified what happened to this guy, but fine. In the meantime, nearly one year later, but anyway, let's say in parallel, there's a parallel story. Isashe, which is an Inkilukai wizard that is trying to reach immortality, and she believes that it's possible. She tried to reach the Death Realm a number of times by suiciding, because in our game, if you die, you don't really die. You go to the after life, right? And you can come back from the afterlife as well. So she started to visit the Death Realm, explore it, and she went on an endless search for Dakru. So she wanted to speak with the god of death. And actually, after a lot of search and spells, and I would say also, let me change maybe this. Instead of endless, we can say she went on what I want to say is that she was very, very, very motivated to do it, right? She was, I don't know, I can say fervent or, you know, on a continuous search, on a constant, on a... can you help me, guys, with a word? She went on I mean, a bit like a crusade, right? So like she was like so convinced that he had to meet this guy that, I mean, this god, that she put everything she had on it. She went on because endless seems that it didn't end, right? What can we say? We can also just say she went on a, she started to search. It's like a maniac, like, so it's like a search that was taking the soul and the body of this person. I can ask ChatGPT. Why not? Fevered, desperate, relentless, fanatical. Fanatical, fantastic, is exactly what I was searching for. She went on a fanatical search for Dakro, right? And I don't know exactly how. I mean, Izage did everything possible to get noticed, even disturbing some of the higher powers of the Citadel, of the Death Realm Citadel. So I don't know exactly what she did, so we don't have the details, but I think she may have disturbed the, I mean, laundries, right, or other creatures in the Citadel, just to get attention. And maybe she, I don't know, she started to read all the books and sleep in the library, things like that, you know. She slept in the library for days, reading all the books, and at the end she was contacted by an essence or a shard. How do we say? We say an essence? Okay, anyway, an essence of Dakro. And she begged. Do you say begged? Is the past tense begged? And she begged for immortality. Dakru refused. I think we should go in the past verbs. Dakru refused. And banish her forever from the Death Realm to avoid being annoyed again. So the next time she will die, she dies, it will be through that. She tries to find other ways. So this is basically a piece of the story. Now here we can go. I mean, I can put it in the same chapter, or I can put it in the same chapter or not. I mean, I can. Uh-oh. It's not working as expected, actually. Oh, wow. This music makes me want to play Diablo 4 again. Did you play Diablo 4? I played it, I really liked it. I think I really liked the idea that the world was open, right? It was an open world, pretty much. And yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, obviously you couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't go everywhere because the certain areas were really higher level compared to you somehow, but it's not really true, because actually he was having this adaptation, this monster adapting to you, right? Yeah, exactly. So you could actually go everywhere because the monsters were adapting to your level. I think probably only the bosses, like if you wanted to do a world boss at the beginning, that was not really a great idea, but okay, so Isashi tries to find other ways to immortality. Try to find other ways to immortality. And she retired. Yeah, I'm going past. And she retired in a cave below Oja. And started magical experience with a quill drake, a lizard creature living in the desert, particularly resilient to the environment. Her plan was to mutate the creatures and see if she can make them immune to decay and aging. If that was successful, she would do the same on herself. She would use the same magic. She would use the same magic on herself. Okay? I think we can have then 1 or 2 short stories or books on this. Maybe I can ask the AI to just write it down. The AI is not bad at writing short books. If you give all this input and you just want the output of a short book written by someone, I think it kind of works okay. If that was successful, she would use the same magic on herself. Okay. Okay, and this is the basic quill drake, right? The one that she is working on. While she's working on this, right? So she went to the Death Realm, she got refused, he does all this stuff. In the meantime, Geraldine, which is the Octarch of the Dome, falls in love with this guy. Okay. Fell in love, we go past. Fell in love with this guy. A young and talented gladiator fighting every day in the idle arena and making a name for himself. Okay. Geraldine's father, I think we should never use her because it's not very clear, I mean, if it's one character or the other. Geraldine's father, Themostes, was not very happy, right? Was not very happy about Kenilere, because even if he was a great warrior, he didn't have money or money, I don't know. He didn't have let's say maybe money is not exactly what I wanted to say. So this guy was didn't have any possessions, but anyway, money or status, let's say. And Mary Geraldine would ruin the family heritage. So he was opposed, but she was still willing to marry this guy. But at the end, if the father was opposed, she didn't really. I think she didn't. Geraldine was not happy about this, but accepted the family decision. Okay, so she accepted the family decision. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, at the beginning, maybe first quarter is not really a great thing. Also because we don't have, okay, let's say the beginning of the year, or the first few months, I don't know. Isashe creates two new, is using, let's say that managed to find managed to create, I don't know if we want her to create a new glyph, or I would say to combine multiple glyphs and create a very powerful spell, able to mutate, right? Able to mutate the Quilldrake, the Desert Quilldrake. I think it's called Desert Quilldrake. The Desert Quilldrake into two new variations. These variations were particularly resilient. These variations were particularly resilient to decay, and we can say to decay and aging, and physically / magically strong, right? One resilient to physical damage, the lava version, and the other to magic. Okay, so I already said that pretty much. Particularly resilient to decay and aging. Plus, let's say, plus the lava Quilldrake was very resilient or resistant to physical damage, while the Crystal Quilldrake was to magic. Let's say that maybe the combination of the two would have been fantastic, but she didn't manage to put them together, right? So now it is where we need to say, right? It is where we need to connect the plug with the, and I think I deleted it. Wait a second. Oh no, I see it. Param pam pam. Param pam pam. This music of the Binding of Isaac is fantastic. Really like it. So the options here were, okay, the experiment leaked, like with a classic contamination. The symbiosis gone wrong, which I think it was a bad idea. The Dakru Revenge, which was kind of interesting, but I don't think that Dakru should actually be interested with this girl anymore. So I would discard it. And the fourth one, which is this magical miscast, right? So so we can say that I don't know if I want to have all magic being a bit miscast, or I just want to have this curse so yeah, we have to think about this. So basically, we have to decide during this experimentation what happened, right? During the spirit, so I think these 4 ideas are not bad, but I need another idea. I need a better idea to connect the research she did with the plug. I can type again what I have here. Magical resonance backlash. The combination of glyph was too unstable. By binding decay resistance into living creature, is actually intelligently twisted the nature of the cycle of death. This one is not too bad, actually. This one is not too bad. I think that we can say that she was using... Hello, Ula. Did I greet you already? I don't remember. I'm very sleepy. I didn't sleep much tonight. I mean, I slept, but not a lot, so... I am a bit sleepy. A second. By the way, yesterday we restarted playing tabletop RPG with my friends, and yeah, I think it was nice. I think I want to restart doing the GM. I think I want to, because now I'm playing, right? We are playing Cyberpunk. Usually when we play Cyberpunk, I'm not the GM, even if I've been. But I would like to restart GMing the D&D Dragonlance campaign, but I have to think about it because it's not that easy, eh? When you... I mean, I have to create stuff, right? So... but I think I would like to. Maybe after the next Friday I can. I think this one is not too bad. Let me read the others. Blood experiment gone wrong. The test result is actually extracted blood from the crystal lava quidra using potion, thinking it could drink the blood carried an unstable magical mutation. When traded in Dark Sabotage, we said that already. I don't think it's a great idea. Ecosystem collapse. The mutated quill drake became apex predator, too strong to challenge the desert balance. I think this idea of using the death glyph and cheating death and trying to, right? So it doesn't manage to combat multiple glyph and create a very powerful spell, able to mutate the desert quill drake into new variations. She used the death glyph. Do we have a death glyph, by the way? I guess so. Huh? Wow, if I search death, all of the because it's death realm. I don't see it. I think because they are all in an atlas. They are all in an atlas. Exactly. I think it's this one. I think it's this one. That glyph. The death glyph. So Itachi managed to combine multiple glyph and creative I would say Zashe tried to combine the death glyph with multiple others, right? With multiple others, and even tried to create to extract new glyphs, right? To extract new glyphs from nature. She sent. I think we can do that. I think we can say that she sent the quill drakes on her command, right? She created very powerful spells. No, I don't think one. She created very powerful spells, able to mutate the desert quill drake into new variations. This variation was particularly resilient to decay. So to discover, I would say this. To discover how these variations were particularly resilient to decay and aging. To decay, let's say, and death. To decay, aging, and death. She instructed the quill drakes to ravage the villages. To ravage the villages, the desert, the villages in the desert, or the desert villages. The villages present in the desert with a cheeky twist that those people that were dying were going to the death realm where she couldn't go anymore, right? With a macabre twist, the people who would die from the quill drakes were going to the death realm where she couldn't be anymore. Where? I don't know. I'm just writing down. I don't know if it's really what we want, but if you have any suggestions or any feedback, you want to do it differently, let me know, guys. I'm just typing what I think. And that was felt by her as a sort of revenge on Dakru. Okay. Okay. We can say after every let's say after every mission she was imbuing, I don't know what she was adding, let's say, more and more magic variations to the quill drakes. The lava quill drake became very resistant to physical damage, while the crystal was to magic. While they were to magic. Their sides, I don't know if I want to have the sides growing or not. Quill Drake will take. Became resistant to magic. During all the experimentation, she was using a pool, right? A pool of water. I don't know if the quill drake should breed there or the eggs. Do you think that these guys have eggs? Yes, I think so, right? So these guys lay down eggs. I think it would be nice to have eggs. Do we have eggs? Do we have eggs in our game? I don't think we have eggs. Would be nice to make a kind of a nest with eggs. I think we have one egg. Yeah, we have. Well, we have also this one, which is a weird kind of egg sac of the trapper creatures. But oh wow, this texture is still 128. Holy shit. Can we improve it a bit since we are here and we saw it? Monster loot, egg sac. Let me try. Monster loot. under UART. We need to refresh your credentials. Okay. Fine. Do it! Success. Fantastic. It's actually very similar. No. I think we would go with this. It's 512, right? Why is 1.3 megabytes? Yeah, it's 512. Okay. Well. The only problem I've seen when importing the PNG like this is that they are keeping a specific graphic profile, which is actually not working very well. So I have to go through a BMP. I know it sounds a bit weird, but I have to go through a BMP, which is basically losing the weird embedded color profile. And then I save it again, and that usually fixes it. Right? Oh, let me see if we can reload that thing. Okay. It's definitely better. Now we have a problem of geometry, but that's another problem. I don't care. I don't want to fix it now, but at least we improve slightly this texture, which is always good. So we have, yeah, so in terms of static mesh, we have only a normal egg, and there is right, this is just a normal egg. I don't know if there is anything that we can reuse. Yeah, I was looking for some speakers, but at the end I think I'm not gonna buy them. I think it would be very nice if we had if we had a kind of a composition. I mean, yeah, like this one. I don't know. I think this one would be fantastic for the lava quill drake. No? The only problem is if this is it's 3D print, so probably, yeah, is this thing. It was a great idea, but you cannot use a model like this. We cannot. Wow, all possible eggs for free? That's very cool. I wanted to have a kind of a composition, maybe with a nest, right? This one is not bad. Not sure why there are so many pictures. Ah, because it's just rotating around. Okay. There are like a million pictures all around 360. But I don't think it should be... I don't think it should be something like that, right? Should probably be just underground. Bird nest lamp with LED branches. What do you mean? There is a lamp? Wow. Pam 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 pam. By the way, hello everyone, welcome, welcome. We are working on a background story for our game, and I'm trying to outline a kind of a, yeah, the story, the main characters, and what happened. And but I think the easiest will be that during all the experimentation, she was using a pool of water connected to an underground river, right? Connected to an underground river. In the pool of water, do you think that the quill drakes would lay eggs? I don't know. Where are lizards? Where are lizards laying eggs? I mean, in the ground, or do they make a nest? Most lizards lay their egg in a safe, hidden place where temperature and moisture is suitable for incubation. Loose soil or sand. Hello, I'm not Milsey. Hey, hello. Loose soil or sand. Under rocks or logs. Leaf litter under vegetation. Rotting wood or compost area. Burrows. So for sure not underwater though, right? Not underwater. My problem is that I need a connection with the water. So, I mean, they can live... And by the way, these are kind of desert creatures, but... These are desert creatures, so not really used to water, right? This one is not really used to water. So I think the water is not really the best. The lava one also, maybe the crystal one could, right? The crystal one could lay eggs in... because I need a connection between these creatures and the fact the plague started. Double check that. Actually, GPT-5 assume a lot and make a lot. Yeah, I think it improved a lot, but yeah, you never know, right? You never know if it's really telling you the truth or not, or it's just trying to please you. Because ChatGPT is usually trying to please you. Would you tell me a lie? Would you tell me a lie just to please me? He's saying, I wouldn't lie to you, even if I might sound more pleasing in the moment. I can frame things in a more encouraging and comforting way if that's what you're looking for, but I still keep it truthful. Do you want me to be more honest and straightforward or more gentle and uplifting? No, I'm asking because I think sometimes you don't know the answer, and you make things up. We have two choices here. Response 1 and response 2. That's a fair concern. What you describe is called hallucination in AI terms, yes. It happens when the model gives an answer that sounds confident but is actually correct. Especially if the question is about something very obscure or misinterpreted what do you mean. I do my best to avoid by flagging when I'm uncertain, check with up-to-date sources, and keep answer clear about the fact and speculation. But you are right, sometimes I might still get things wrong. Well, at least he knows, right? At least he knows. At least he knows. Would you like me to always say I don't know when I'm unsure instead of trying to reason it out? Well, you can still reason it out, but you should clearly say that you don't know. You see? So now in theory, we trained it to tell us what we want. So, but I don't know if he knows that if he's lying. If you are trained with wrong data, the problem is that if she's trained with wrong data, he wouldn't know that he's lying. Please research where leads are lay rather than pull things out of the air if we research it. Nah, but I think in general it's pretty accurate. We can ask, about websites or things like that. We can say, oh, give me the references, right? Give me the references, but so the idea I think we should say that the cavern. Let me do this. During all the experimentation, the cavern where Isache lived, right, got exposed to a tremendous amount of magic, right? A tremendous amount of magic. Sometimes also failed experiments and dying creatures, right? So maybe many of the quill drakes actually died during the experimentation. You deal a lot with AI. So I would say, and so sometimes also fail experiments where quill drakes were dying. She was throwing their magical mutated bodies into a large pool inside a cavern, right? Large pool of water inside a cavern. And this pool was connected to an underground river, right? And it is where things really went south. It is really when things started to be bad. Right? This pool was connected to an underground river. Running under Ojavera. Ojavera is the city of the cat people. And where die? She was trying to magically mutated bodies in a large pool of water inside the cavern. This pool was connected to an underground river running under Ojavera. Several wells. So basically the people of the city were unaware. Were unaware sounds a bit weird, but anyway. Were unaware. Okay, anyway. The people of the city were unaware of the contamination and used I mean they were using the wells normally, right? So much of the water that is coming to Oja is through wells, and these wells connect to underground rivers. And one of the rivers was this one, right? The people of the city were unaware of the contamination. Or let's say they weren't aware of the contamination until it was too late, right? They were already in trouble. So the people of the city, no, let's say different. Ojavera relies on a number of wells to get water from the soil, right? From the underground, whatever. Ojavera relies on a number of wells to get water from the underground, and the people and the inhabitants or the villagers or whatever, and the people unfortunately discovered only too late that the water was how do you say in English? Contaminated. They discovered only too late that the water was contaminated. Okay, so I think we have our connection. So basically, in this freaking cavern, when this wizard was doing all his magical, crazy experiments, right? She threw an insane amount of energy and magic, and this started to mutate the ecosystem of the cavern, including the one of the pool. Plus, all the creatures that were dying through the experiments were thrown into the pool as well, and they were sucked down into the underground river somehow. So I don't think that the disease was caused by just the body dying, but I think it was the magic, right? It was the magic that was really filled with the death glyph. Maybe we can say that. During all this communication, the camera was exposed to an immense amount of magic, including the death glyphs and several other dark way energies, right? Dark way, I think we should put it uppercase, because anyway, dark way energy. Sometimes, well, tremendous amount of magic, including the death glyph and several other dark way energies. Some failed, let's say, some failed experiments caused the quildrake to die, and She was just disposing their bodies. Disposing their bodies. Disposing their magically mutated bodies into a large pool of water inside a cavern. Okay. Disposing of their magically mutated bodies. Okay. Disposing of. Into a large pool of water inside a cavern. This pool was connected to an underground river running under Ojaveda. And not only, I would say. Ojaveda relied on a number of wells to get water from the underground. And the people unfortunately discovered only too late that the water was contaminated. Okay, so we have our like this, we have our connection, right? Meanwhile, you know, in the other side of the world, Geraldine decides to go to Ojaveda. Why she goes there? I don't know. I think we should invent a bit of a story there as well. Why she decides to go to Oja exactly at that moment? Yeah. I don't know. Okay, I wrote it this way. I'm telling the AI so that he knows a bit of what we decided. That's really good. I like how I like how the AI is trying to please you. Anyway. Is that the obsession with the dead glyph, her twisted revenge on Dakar, the mutation of the Quildrake, and the clear logic. Yeah, exactly. If you want to make it flow even tighter, is a slightly polished version that keeps your ideas intact but sharpen the narrative. Okay. Yeah, because I guess he's writing better than me. Is that a push the study further, combining the death glyph with many others and even attempting to strike the glyph from nature? Okay, I like this phrase. It's probably better than mine. Her new spells mutated the desert quildrake into two terrifying variation. Why terrifying? To test their resistance against decay, aging, and death itself, she unleashed them upon the desert villages. In a twisted mind, every victim they sent to the terrain was a form of vengeance against Dakar, who was banished her forever. After each raid, she wove additional magic into the quildrake, finding her creation. The lava quildrake grew instantly while the crystal. Yeah, it's not bad. I think it's written probably better than my version. I have to say. The only thing is that I don't like too much about the terrifying, right? Let's say two variations came into being. Two variations came into being. The lava quildrake grew resistant to physical harm while the crystal deflected the magic itself. Okay. 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 During all the experimentation, is there? Did he change also this part? But their cavern laboratory became saturated with uncontrolled energies. That glyph where was playing 05 with this is much better, I would say, than my version. That pool fed directly into a subterranean river flowing beneath Ojaveda. Very nice. Ojaveda relied on a number of wells to get water from the underground, and the people, unfortunately, the city wells drew from this water, and by the time the contamination was discovered, the sickness already spread among his people. Yeah, I think this version is definitely better. The well drew from this water, and by the time the contamination was discovered, the sickness already spread among his people. Okay, nice. Now, I just want to improve a bit this part, right? Okay, now I want to improve this next chapter of the story. There is a great turning point. The eye is saying that it is a great turning point. Well, Geraldine contracts the plague, so giving her trip to Javed a clear purpose and emotional weight will make the story stronger. And now it feels a bit like a placeholder. We can reach with political or personal stakes, and add a few possible directions. Diplomatic mission. Geraldine travels to Ojavera as Octard of the Dome to negotiate with the Enkidukai clans. Yeah, this is what I was thinking, in fact. But what she's negotiating, right? The plague outbreak is causing unrest, and she goes to mediate or offer aid, a sign of her. No, but she should not know. I mean, she would never go there if the plague was there, right? So that is impossible, right? So it makes no sense. She journeyed to Javeda to secure trade of magical region, rare books and crystal. Since she's the monster daughter and the Octo, she may also want to expand the influence. Religious scientific curiosity. Geraldine says, no, she cannot know about this illness. She will never go there. She sneaks to Ojavera for something more intimate to meet. I mean, it would be nice if Kennilir, which is her lover, right, was actually in the Ojaveda arena, was fighting in the Ojaveda arena for whatever reason, and she went there to meet him, right? Yeah, we should do it this way. I want to do it. So that is what it should be. How do you say pretesto? Huh? Pretext. You use pretext as well? Okay, pretext. So I think she should use a kind of a pretext to go there, because she's informed that he's going to fight in the arena of Ojaveda, right? In a very brutal fight, or anyway, in a very dangerous fight. And she wants to be there to see him at least one last time before he dies, if he's gonna die, right? And obviously he's not. But unfortunately, the fact that she went there and she contracts the sickness, right? The disease. Yeah, we should do it this way. So she finds, she gets the information. Kennilir is fighting in the Ojaveda arena, right? She gets information Kennilir is fighting in the Ojaveda arena. No, will fight, let's say, not is fighting. Will fight in the Ojaveda arena in few weeks or whatever, right? Or in a few days, in few weeks. She organizes a pretext visit to the Enkidukai clan, to the Enkidukai clans, to yeah, the problem is, what is the pretext of the visit? I think it would be nice to know what is it, right? She gave information of Canadians fighting in a few weeks. She organized a pretext visit to the Enkidukai clan to let's say strengthen the diplomatic ties between the two cities, and but secretly to have the chance to see Kennelir one more time, and maybe the last time, in case the fight will end badly, right? The fight in the arena would end badly. And guys, by the way, if you have any ideas, you know, or any feedback or any comments, please let me know. I'm just, you know, going by myself somehow, but if you have any suggestions, right, you're more than welcome to interact and say what do you think I should put in the story. So maybe the last time, in case the fight in the arena would end badly. Exactly. During the so let's say that the disease or the curse, I don't know if I want to call it disease or curse, but anyway, at this point the plague is still uncovered, right? No, I mean it's not yet discovered. It's not yet discovered, but everyone is drinking and using the well's water, and unfortunately Geraldine contracts the disease as well. Okay. That's a really good angle, eh? He combined politics, romance, and tragedy. I like when the AI is like giving you, you know, the pat on the back. It's like, good job, my boy. Good job, my little human. You did it. A small pat on the back. It combines politics, romance, and tragedy all in one move. He showed Geraldine as bold as a responsible Octarch, publicly standing integrity as a woman secretly following her heart, wanting to see Kennelir. And the fact that she unknowingly dooms herself while pursuing the love gives the story a strong emotional punch. Fantastic. Okay. News reached Geraldine that Kennelir was scheduled to fight in the Ojovera within a few weeks. Officially, she arranged a diplomatic journey to the Enkidukai clan, presenting as an effort to strengthen the bonds between Idle and Ojovera. And officially, the journey was a pretext. She longed to see Kennelir once more, perhaps it was the last time, would fake claiming in the arena. Exactly. At this time, the plague remained hidden, its source undiscovered. The people of Ojaveda still drank freely from the wells, fed by the underground river, unaware of the corruption seeping into the water. Like the others, Geraldine also drank, and thus the disease took root within her. Fantastic. It's very well written, by the way. At least to my understanding. Okay, so this becomes this. Right. So Okay. So here she get the disease, right? And now we need to understand. Does just she? So it's just she going back, and then is starting to feel badly, or does she start to feel bad already while she's in Oja? Um, I think it's probably better if she goes back, and then the effects, because I guess I assume that she stayed like only one day, right? She stayed only one day. I mean, it's not. I mean, if he's in a diplomatic mission and she's a very high rank person like she is, she's basically the king of the whole region, right? I don't think she's gonna stay like 2 or 3 days, right? I think she's gonna visit and go away. So, so we can say that. So we can say, I think I can tell ChatGPT and he will put it in better. You have hit the free plan for GPT-5. No. Well, we use another model. Okay. So Geraldine manages to participate in the games, in the arena games event, right? Well, to participate, to spectate, whatever. The arena games event and witness the win of Kenneler with great relief, right? With great relief, because she's saying, okay, she's not dead, right? With great relief. Well, dead. I mean, maybe he just got injured, but anyway. She goes back, right? She goes back home, and the disease starts to spread, become. I mean, it becomes evident, right? Disease becomes evident. She fell sick. She went back. Managed. She went back home and the disease became evident and she fell sick. Okay. In the meantime, also in Ojavera, the disease becomes evident, and in a whole part of the city, the Tsar Saragi gets closed, right? Gets barred or whatever. No one can enter or exit. I mean, very few are allowed under supervision to enter or exit. Okay. Yes. Geraldine managed to attend the arena games and witness Kennedy victory, a moment of great relief and joy. But her happiness was short-lived. Upon returning to Idla, the first sign of disease appeared, and she quickly fell ill. Meanwhile, in Ojaveda, the sickness began to manifest more widely. The Enkiduka authorities in the threat closed off the affected district, Zarsaragi, allowing only a few individuals under strict supervision to leave or enter. The city was suddenly gripped by fear and uncertainty as the mysterious disease spread. Okay, well, this part maybe we can remove, because it's not really a book. It's just Okay. I think this is pretty good, guys. This is pretty good. No? Okay. The thing is to manifest more widely than Kiriko authority, realizing the threat, closed off the affected district, Saragi, allowing only a few individuals under strict supervision to enter or leave. Fine. Fine. At this point, at this point, we have this part, right? I don't know exactly how he finds out about the sickness, but he must find somehow, right? I don't know how he finds out. I think he has to leave Ojaveda because he's getting. Do you think that he saw Geraldine during the arena games? Yes, I think he did. Potentially. So Kennelir finds out about the sickness spreading in Ojaveda, but is luckily unaffected. He remembers. I mean, he found out about the sickness spreading in Ojaveda, but he was luckily unaffected. Still, recalling the presence of Geraldine in the city, he fears for her health, right? And travels to Idla to ask about her, about her status, right? He speaks with her father. Wait a second. He spoke. He feared. I don't know why I'm always doing the verbs. He found out about the sickness, and he was likely to be unaffected. Still recalling the presence of Geraldine in the city, he feared for her health, right? And traveled to Idla to find out. He spoke with the father, with her father. I don't know if he spoke with her father actually. In the sense that he may find out by just small talk here and there in the city. After knowing she's sick, he decided to speak. He decided to speak with her father, proposing a deal. If he managed to stop her illness, he will be granted to marry her. Okay. Pretty cool. Let me just have this one rewritten by the AI because my English is always a bit shit. Bling bling. Kennedy soon learned of the sickness spreading through Ojaveda, through by fortune or resilience remains untouched. Yet the memory of Geraldine's recent visit haunted him, and dread grew in his heart. He hastened to Idla only to discover if his fears confirmed. Geraldine has fallen ill, her strength fading day by day. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. At this point, what do I need? At this point, I need... No, wait, I didn't finish the story. Ah, exactly. Driven by love and desperation, Klein sought out of Father Temostes Salicarius. Through the Octar regarded the gladiator as an... Well, it's not the Octarch anymore. The Octarch is her, so... To the Octar regarded the gladiator as unworthy of his daughter, Klein made a bold proposal. If you find the source of the plot... Okay, I think I would just change it a bit, but directionally is okay. Klein soon learned of a sickness spreading through Jovera. Told by fortune or resilience, he remained untouched. Yet the memory of Geraldine is a vision haunted him. Grew his heart, destined to Idla only to discover his feeling of okay. So, driven by love and desperation, Kennedy sought out her father, Temostes Salicarius. To the Octa regarded the gladiator as unworthy of his daughter. I think I will cut this off and just say saw their father and made a bold proposal. If he could find the source of the plague and end Geraldine's suffering, Temostes would grant him her hand in marriage. Fantastic, guys! This is becoming a book. That is becoming a real book. The saga continues, you know? The saga continues. One second. I need to... I have to listen to a voice message. Why people are sending voice messages? I have to, what do I have to do? I have to mute here. 1 second. Why my face is like that? I didn't see my face. Why my face is stuck like that? You didn't tell me, guys, huh? You didn't tell me that my face was stuck. Because I was in a stupid position, huh? So you liked it, huh? Okay, 1 second. Okay, so we are we are here, driven by love and desperation. Kennedy sought out her father, Timothy Sarika, and made a bold proposal. Made to him. And made a bold proposal. If he could find the source of the plague and end Geraldine's suffering, Timothy would grant him her hand in marriage. Okay, fantastic. So now the problem is he finds out, right? He finds out, he makes the proposal. He makes the proposal, and now what? So now he basically needs to find out. He needs to find out where the source is coming from, right? Now we have two problems here. Well, we have a number of problems to solve, right? So the first one is the fact that he decides to go back, but that's easy because he's in love with Geraldine, and so it's easy that he decides to go back, even risking his life. And anyway, he's a gladiator, so he's very strong and powerful and. And so he just decides to risk it, right? Just decides to risk it. At the same time, the city is closed. Part of the city is closed, right? So the problem is how he finds about the cave, which supposedly is very, very secluded and hidden and not easy to find, right? So, and my idea was that he would team up with a wizard, right? Or with someone that actually find out the problem, right? And I mean, we have two ways. Or he goes there and by himself he searches a wizard or someone that has knowledge of magic and try to find the source, or could be even simpler that he goes back there and the city governor, right, is searching for brave heroes that want to go in a place that they already identified. Right? Which could be a way. Which one you prefer, guys? Or do you have another idea? So here we have to bridge the discovery of the cave with him going back, you know, to Ojaveda and finding out somehow about this cave. Can we introduce another element or not? Do we need another element? Do we need more elements? Do we need more elements here or not? Do we need more elements? The only thing I want him to go back to the city. Try to understand the situation. Maybe speak with the government. And find out. I just don't know if he should be the primary engine, let's say, the primary force behind the discovery of the cavern. Or if the cavern has been discovered for him already. The only problem I'm thinking is that if the cavern has been discovered already, right, it is a bit weird that the city would not just act, because I mean it's destroying the city, right? It's destroying the city. So it's not that the governor is saying, "Oh, we are searching for adventurers to go," right? So they would just go. They would just go. They would just immediately go if they knew where the cave is, right? So it doesn't really make sense to say that he arrives in Oja and someone is telling him, hey, there is an adventure, there is a, you know, a mission to do, and I mean, I think it makes no sense. So with that in mind, I think he should actually find out himself, right? So can he ask Tutemostes to have a wizard with him? Because he knows that it could be magic. The only problem is that if we have a wizard with him, then that guy will die 100%, and I think Temostes will not be very happy to sacrifice one of his best wizard for the code. Well, I mean, it's for his daughter, but I would say I'm slightly stuck here. No, I'm not stuck. I'm just saying that I would like so let's analyze the options. He asks for a wizard to Temostes, brings the wizard to Oja. Together with this wizard, they find out that the problem is the water in the wells, and still together with this wizard, they start to investigate every possible cave in the surrounding, which is a bit weird though, because I think it's not, yeah. But the second option is that he goes back and the city knows already, but he doesn't want to go, and also this one is a bit weird. The third option is he goes back and somehow he managed to find out about this cave. How though? How? I mean, he could enter into one of the wells and see where they go, but that's kind of risky. That's kind of suicidal, I would say. He has no magical knowledge. This is a pure fighter, right? So we cannot say that maybe he discovers it himself. I mean, he's a pure fighter, he's a pure gladiator, so there's no way. I need to define the next steps. In particular, So next steps. Kennelir goes back to Ojaveda and somehow he discovers the disease is linked to the water, and then he finds the cave where Isashi is, right? But I don't know how this can happen in an interesting way, right? Investigating the source, observation and intuition. Can it not pattern among the sick? Only to leave the work a certain well are affected. There is some village close to the surface where water current supplies. And speak to the Enkirukai survivors. Arcane detection. No, it doesn't have any magical training. Tracing the underground river. The river feeding Ojaveda wells is ancient and mysterious. So I remember seeing unusual underground pools and caves during mining at desert travel. Kelly investigates these clues and discovers tracks of Quildrake. I mean, I think we can also do it differently, right? We can also say, so if this is the map, right, near to Oja, right, and let's say that Ojaveda is here. Let's say that Ojaveda is here, right? Whatever, and the cave whatever is here, right? I think he may just look around the city and not in the city for clues, and maybe he will start to find out about the lava and the crystal Quildrakes, right? They were not present before, right? So that would be a very strong clue, right? That something happened. That would be a very strong clue. Yeah, I think this should be our clue, by the way. Scorched sand from the lava Quildrake or faint crystal from the magical resistance. Yeah, I think that we need to do something like this. Strange glyphs carved in the walls, pools, and tainted water. Maybe. Maybe. Let's keep it simple. Let's keep it simple. I think it goes back to Oja. I think it should be this way. Kenil goes back to Oja Villa and starts to despite the disease, right? The spreading disease, and starts to and start to investigate, right? Start to speak with the people, asking for signs of something that changed, right? Asking for clues, right? Asking for clues. The city is in trouble, right? And in turmoil. The main activities are to heal and take care of the sick, right? Few are really looking at the cause yet, right? Because it's still very early, right? It's just few days that this thing came out. Also because the time that, I mean, from Oja to Idla, the distance is very short, right? So you can do it in like 1 hour. So it can even be the same day that it goes back and forth between the two cities, right? So perfectly fine. So the main activities are to heal and take care of the sick. Few are really looking at the cause yet. Few are looking at the cause yet, because the disease just started, right? So let's say that the sentinels on the city walls, right, report of strange or different Quildrake sightings of I don't know how to say, different of Quildrakes, report of Quildrakes never seen before. Report of Quildrake never seen before. With colors and with colors and sizes, with unusual skin, with unusual skin. So our Kennelir goes into a search, into a mission to find out about those creatures, right? And here I think it'd be pretty easy at the end. So he follows some of them, right? By the way, we didn't say anything about all the villages that are getting raided, right? I think Oja Vera should know about the raided villages. Ay, that is a bit of a bug in our story. Because well, I think we can put it in. We can say that the Sentinel City War report of Quildra never seen before with unusual skin, plus rumors of raided villages in the desert, right? Kennedy goes into a mission to find out about those events, right? About those events. And what happens? What happens? Plus one more raided villages. The desert clinic goes into a mission to find out about those events, and by following some of the creatures' tracks, he finds out the location of the cave. Okay, so like this we arrive at the cave, right? Oh my god, it's so long. Despite spreading sickness, Karen returned to Oshavera, determined to uncover the source of the plague. The city was in chaos. Healer worked tirelessly. The sick were everywhere, and panic had gripped the streets. Few had the time and energy to consider the cause, and rumors ran rampant. Okay. 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 Kelly spoke with townsfolk, merchant, and well keepers, piecing together fragment information. Meanwhile, the sentinel on top of the city wall reported sighting. And whispered. Yeah, no, this part needs to be changed. It's not good. This paragraph. The paragraph needs to be changed. Needs to be changed. In the sense that it's not meanwhile the sentinels atop the city, right? So right, but those happen in the past, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, can you make it shorter? I think it's too long. Kennedy could gather clue. He could from townsfolks and merchants. The Sentinel reported sighting of strange creatures in the desert over the past week and told the villages they they had raided. This past event hinted the sort of the plague malleable in the city. I don't really like this phrase, but anyway, we can change it a bit. Kennedy gathered what clues he could from townsfolks and guards. The sentinels on the city walls reported sighting of strange quildrake in the desert over the past, say, months. I think it's more than weeks. And the guards told of villages, told of rumors. Coming from desert villages about new creatures attacking those. Let's see if we can make it a bit better. Kenny gathered with clues he could find from townsfolk and guards. The Sentinel reported sighting of strange quildrakes in the desert over the past months, and the guards spoke of rumors of nearby villages about this new creature attacking the settlements. Okay, fantastic. It is exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I want. Okay, so with that, right, he start to be... Wait. After this... Okay, driven by courage and curiosity? I don't think so. Kilnir set out into the desert to investigate. He carefully tracked this creature, following claw marks in the sand. Well, claw marks in the sand, I don't know. Scorch marks left by the lava quill drake and faint crystal residue. Yeah. Okay. So this one is kind of okay, but it's not really the way I want it. Let's say Kelly set out into the desert, and he carefully tracked the creatures, following the claw marks in the sand makes no sense. Following the scorch marks left by the lava quill drake and the faint crystal residue from the magic resistant variants. Exactly. But I don't think he knows, right? He doesn't know yet. So following scorch marks, following unusual scorch marks and faint crystal. Exactly. After several days of careful pursuit, he finally discovered the entrance to an hidden cavern. Okay. To an hidden caverns, let's say, where the walls were marked with glyphs of magic. Glyphs of dark magic. Okay. Fantastic, guys. We are doing this, huh? We are doing this. I mean, it's a bit long, but I like it. I mean, it's not usual that I spend so much time on a background story, right? But I think it's kind of cool, right? And I think we should do it more, right? I think that part of the beauty of the game is also the lore, and if we manage to have, you know, a strong background story with good lore, I think is really helping the game, right? So I understand it maybe is a bit too much for a single building, right? Which is pretty much this building, right? Because if we have to do the same for all the other 23, obviously it's gonna take a bit of time. Yes, we have 23. We have 23 guilds. All of them needs to have such a strong background story, right? I just wanted to create one for fun, pretty much. So yeah. Okay, maybe we can also do something else later on. I don't know, maybe, I don't know if you are annoyed by this or you are entertained by this. In any case, let me know. My face is stuck again. Okay, so thanks to the markings, to the scorch marks of the lava quill drakes, and to the faint traces of crystal dust or whatever it is, he finds out where the cave is, right? Okay, that's very good. So here we are pretty much always at the same, in the same month, right? Now the only problem is, there is a problem of timing, right? Because basically, if he immediately goes to the desert, immediately finds the traces and goes into the cave and solve the problem. So this means that the plug actually lasted what? Few days, a week. So I don't know if I want him to actually search for more time, right? Not just few days, maybe a few weeks. Because he's saying after several days. I think the timing is a bit so-so because, I mean, it's true that when he goes back from Idla to Oja, the plague is already spread, so maybe it's a few days. He starts to speak with the townsfolk. He stays in the city for a bit, so sometime it definitely gone while he's in the city, gathering this information. Right? Maybe he does a few scout missions. And after a few scout missions, he decides to, follow the traces, and then so it may take time. But at the same time, he's very concerned about Geraldine and the fact that she's dying, right, of this disease. So I think he wants to hurry up, right? He's not taking it slow, for sure. For sure. Anyway, after several days, I think it's fine. So after this, what happens? Okay, so we arrived there. After this, what happens? I don't know how big is the cave, right? And how deep is the cave, and how many creatures should still be there. I think you may find eggs laying pretty much everywhere in this freaking cave. I mean, the race already developed, right? The two new races are basically developed, and they don't really need anymore the cave itself to reproduce, right? So, but now the problem is how is stopping the disease, right? And here I had something as simple as he arrives into the cave only to find out a huge lizard, and to find the huge lizard, which by the way is Ashe mutated into that because she wanted to. I don't know if she should mutate while he's there or so during the fight, but I don't think it would be very easy. So I think maybe we can have a separate paragraph where she's reaching kind of the end of her experiments, and I don't know if she can. Do you think we should have her mutate into a giant lizard or not? How easy it is, magically speaking? I would say not very simple, because the ability to polymorph, right? We don't really have a polymorph spell. I mean, you can polymorph into a tree or a plant. I mean, there is a spell that does a bit of that. I mean, it's not that you are becoming fully a tree, but you are having like sprouts go out of your body somehow. So uh, um, let me chat a bit and see what comes out. Okay, now he enters the cave, and we need to define how he can stop the disease, right? How we can stop the disease. I mean, I don't think he can destroy the wall. I mean, I don't think he can kill everything, right? Because these creatures are spreading across the desert anyway. They are reproducing across the desert. So there are already probably many of them far away. So I think that the only problem is the pool of water, right? So he has to purify somehow this pool of this pool of water. So he has to understand that the pool of water is connected to the underground river, and then is connected to the wells, and then he has to purify that water somehow, right? The problem is that he's not a priest, he's not a mage, he's just a gladiator. So he by himself he cannot really purify it. I mean, now that he discovered the cave, he could go back to the city and ask for priests to purify the water, right? But in theory, you could say, oh, they just purify the wells and works anyway. Maybe not. Maybe he has to remove all the, at least from this cave, he needs to remove all the eggs and all the dead bodies of or the experiments. I don't know. It's not very clear to me. Some ideas are that he finds Isache and convince her to revert the spell, but this would be impossible, right? So considering all she went through, I think she will never ever agree to revert the spell. I think she would die instead, right? I think she would die instead. And also, I don't think that she knows how, right? Because she only contaminated it, but it's not that she did it by purpose. Now, let's say that her presence, and her spells are probably contaminating the water significantly, and is continuously releasing negative dark energies into the water. So probably if he stops her and he stops her experimentation, the water will not purify itself automatically, but it will start to, it will start to improve, and maybe in a month or so, Ojavera will have again a water that is reasonable and is in good health, and so the disease will go away like that. The only problem is, what about the people that are already sick, right? What about the people that are already sick, and how to save them, right? And you can say, oh, it's just that they don't have to drink that water. Well, it's a walled city, right? And how can they avoid drinking that? And also, if that's the case, Geraldine, which is back to Idla, is not drinking that water anymore. So in theory, she should heal naturally. That is not very nice. No, we need someone to study. We need someone to study that magic in the cave. There's no way. We need someone that is capable of studying the magic in that cave. But considering how much she went through. It's unlikely she will accept. This is one idea. Another idea is that the another idea is that the what? Yeah, that the well, another idea is that the water needs to be purified, or the disease needs to be reversed. I just don't know how, because Geraldine is a problem, right? Because Geraldine is back in the other city. So I cannot just say, oh, you go there and purify the water and everyone is fine. I mean, it works for Rojaveda, but it doesn't work for Geraldine. Unless she remains in Oja for whatever reason. Can we have her remain in Oja because she's part of the contaminated one? Nah, but anyway, she's an Octarch, so they will carry her home anyway. So there's no way she's getting locked there. It's impossible. Absolutely impossible. The water needs to be purified, but this brings the problem. As she went back already, right? She went back to Idla already, and so how is this fixing the problem, right? Yeah. Convince Isasha to revert the spell. Nah, but I don't think it's not. Isasha obsession makes it unlikely. She may not know the full consequences. She's arrogant and prideful. Yeah, it's not really possible. Purify the water. Logical and practical. If Geraldine is already in idle, the water purification alone would magically cure her instantly. She may already be infected. Yeah, she's infected, in fact. Make purification necessary but not sufficient. Stopping the river prevents further spread, but Kenny must use a magical cure artifact is not bravery and ingenuity to heal Geraldine. Yeah, that may work. Hybrid approach. Can you neutralize the Withrek in the cave? Stop the water source and use some insight from the cave glyph to craft a cure purification. So I think that we have, yes, we have two pieces. We have two pieces to solve, right? So one is the further spread, right? The further spread, and by killing Isashe and removing all the quill drakes from the cave, and maybe even, you know, how do you say, when you sealing, right? And maybe even sealing the cave would solve it, right? I think that by killing Izashe, removing all the quill drake and sealing the cave would solve it. So I think that that is good enough, right? And I think that he can do this by himself, right? Now, for the people that are already contaminated, there must be a cure or something, right? There must be a way. So for the people already contaminated, including obviously Geraldine. For the people already contaminated, we need an idea. Kennilir is not a priest or wizard, he's just a fighter. He's just a fighter, so I don't think he can do it by himself. I think he can just invite some wizard from Ojaveda to study the cave after he cleaned it up completely. It destroys all seals today, removing the source of contamination, preventing infection in tangible heroic way. It's actually could either be eliminated, trapped, or flee by leaving an experiment neutralized. I think that she should be killed. I think she will be killed, and she will fulfill her through that curse. Cure the already infected. Since Karen is not a wizard, he can make this part rely on lies or knowledge discovered in the cave. Hey, but who? Nah. The cave contains a magical glaive or artifact. I think he may collect some of the eggs, and he can collect some of the water, and he can collect some of the glyphs used and magic used. But I think someone from the city needs to go there and do the analysis. I don't think he can do it. I think he will clean the cave, go back to Oja. So I think he enters the cave. Kills Izashe and his minions. And by the way, there are two giant-sized quill drakes she uses as bodyguards. So he has to fight all three plus other normal size quill drakes. Another normal size quill drakes. So he's not a magic user. So when the cave is epurated, Do you say epurated? When the cave is epurated, he returns to Ojaveda, tells everyone about his discovery. Well, tells the government, let's say, the city government about his discovery, and asks for mages to study the cave glyphs and the quilldrake eggs. The study results into a cure that he brings to Geraldine. Do we want this guy to die or not? I think I want him to die because I know it's a bit sad that he dies, but I want him to die because so the people could make this building in his shape, right? In his memory. Because if he doesn't die, he's just a pure hero, right? He's a hero. And it's a bit annoying, it's a bit boring, right? The fact he's a hero. So he basically goes back, he gets to marry Geraldine, and everything is a happy ending. I don't know. I think there is not enough tension, right? In this way. What do you think, guys? See, you're super silent, so you're either asleep or you don't know what to say. I don't know if I want him dead. Maybe a quilldrake just chops his legs off, and that is why the statue only is from the torso up. No! I'm joking. But that would have been a nice reason why the statue is only from the waist up, you know? And also chops his hands. No, the hands actually are there. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to. I'm unsure if he should die in the process or not. Cave action sequence. Entrance and tension. Enter the cave. Wall glowing. Okay, I don't care about that. Initial combat. A swarm of normal-sized quilldrakes. Exactly. The bodyguards, two giant quilldrake emerge. A lava and crystal vine. Along with his Ash, who may try to interfere but mostly cornered. Can only use cunning, agility, and brute force to defeat the monster and finally confront his Ash. Her death and capacity neutralize the remaining threat. Exactly. This is exactly what I said. Aftermath, exhausted and bloody escape, having stopped the contamination. Post-cave resolution. He reports to the authorities. The mage needs to study the glyphs. They develop a cure, etc. He's a celebrated hero. Okay. Survival. Fits heroic fantasy, keeping acting in the later storyline. Keeps the romance alive. Geraldine can recover and reward his bravery. Makes sense. His skill as gladiator, killing two giants, is actually extremely dangerous but survivable. Death. Increased stakes dramatically. Makes his heroine tragic. Add a somber legendary feel to the war's Smiter origin. Could he get a strong legacy story? The guild is founded in his honor. Exactly, is what I'm saying. Exactly. Okay, let's have him stay alive. Let's have him stay alive. I think it's fine. So he will found the, yeah, you know what is the only annoyance though, is that I think it's a bit selfish, right? That he builds a building like himself, right? I think it's very selfish. So I think that this building should be actually donated. I mean, should actually be built by someone else in his memory, right? So maybe this happens when he dies later on. Yeah, maybe. 670. Maybe like 5 years later, whatever he dies for whatever freaking reason, right? Or 10 years later he dies for whatever freaking reason, and the people decide to upgrade the building and create this in his memory, right? Which I think would be very nice, by the way. But he marries Geraldine, right? Okay, I think we will do it this way. Okay, we will do it this way. Okay, I settled on... he defeats Izasha, as we said. He goes back to the city. Cure is made. Cure is made. He marries Geraldine, right? And then later on, right? And then later on, when he will die, but I don't want to tell the AI. Okay, it's fine. Can you write this part of the story? No, not that long, please. No. Can you step into the counter? What percentage is the glowing? The stench of decay? Nah, it's too long. First game of life search creatures. Also, normal sized creatures is not good. Make it shorter. Also, don't use normal sized creatures. Just say a swarm of lava and crystal quilldrakes. Can he step into the cavern? His wall glowing with dark glyph. A swarm of lava and crystal quilldrakes surged at him. They closed and stricken from the side. He fought with skill and determination, dodging, parrying, striking until the beast lay defeated. Then he confronted his Asher. The clash is a brilliant reality. They can only emerge victorious at the end of the darkest spinning. No, bro, you forgot the two. You forgot the two guys. You forgot the two bodyguards. The giant-sized quilldrakes. Bro. You stupid. Obviously. And we did all this mess for the... Can you step to cover? Going with the glyphs. One quilldrake attack. They truly challenged were to... in the true challenge where the two giant quilldrake guarding is... No, he has to be in a sequence. Bro. First the swarm of quilldrakes. Then he goes deeper into the cave and finds the two giant lizards, and then he finds the two giant lizards with his Ashe, but she leaves him fighting the creatures, and then he goes even deeper and finds her in the pool and defeats her. Bro, please. Don't be a stupid AI. Kenley entered the cavern. His walk going into the Garglyph. A swarm of lava and crystal with a leg attacking immediately, forcing him to fight for his life. After defeating them, he pressed deeper into the cave, where the two giant Quildrakes stood as guardians. Isasha was there, but she let him battle a massive creature alone. With skills and determination, overcame the giants and moved forward into the cavern, where he finally confronted Isasha by a pool of corrupted water. In a decisive struggle, defeated her and ended the dark experiments. Okay, this I think is fine. This I think is fine. Okay, where are we? Can I set down to the carefully tracking the creature? Okay, we are here. We are here. Okay. Then after this, exhausted, can I seal the cavern and return to? No, I cannot seal the cavern, bro. No. You cannot seal the cavern. No, we have to change. No, this part is completely wrong. We have to change this part. We have to change the part. He cannot seal the cavern. He cannot seal the cavern. He goes back and tells the city government, whatever, about his findings. Mages are sent to study the cave and the eggs. I mean, the cave, the pool, and the eggs. The cave, the pool, and the eggs. A cure is found. A cure is found. The cave is sealed. Exactly. That is the way, bro. This AI is pretty stupid. No, this AI is fantastic, by the way. It's incredible how he understands what I'm asking. Exalted can return to Ojaveda, report everything to the city authorities. Mages and Dealer were dispatched to study the cavern. The now safe, I would say the now safe cavern, right? But I think it's okay. The now nearly safe. Mages and Dealer were dispatched to study the cavern, the corrupted pool and the Quildrake eggs. Their research produced a cure that healed Geraldine and the afflicted. And the cave was finally sealed to prevent further danger. When the plague ended, Kennedy... No. Not when the plague ended. No. This part is shit. Okay, this part needs to be changed. So it's not when the plague ended. So the plague continued more. So with the plague ended, wait. Exactly. The research produced a cure that healed the afflicted. Kelnir goes back to Idla, gives the cure to Geraldine and marries her. Okay. The plague slowly fades away with people getting healed by the magical formula, whatever. Exactly, something like that, right? Kelly returned to Idla and delivered the cure to Geraldine, saving her life. The plague only receded and the magical formula was administered and afflicted to the city. We generated blessing and married her. The courage became legendary. Okay, I think that is fine. I only have to change this. The cure healed the afflicted in the city. Kenny returned to Isla, delivered the cure to Geraldine, saving her life. The plague gradually receded as magical formula was administered to the afflicted through the sea. The plague gradually receded. The magical cure, not the magical formula. No, this needs to happen after. Kelinir earned her father's blessing and married her. Their courage became legend. Their courage is courage. They play. Okay. So his courage became legend, and the Smiters Guild was founded to honor Kelly's heroism. The building, it was founded in the desert, not too far from the how do you say, unfamous cave? No, how do you say, from the infamous cave. Not too far from it was founded. It was built. It was founded in the desert, not too far from the famous cave. Famous cave. But what I want to say is that after he died, they upgraded it. So after, so his career became legend. Smiters Guild was founded. Smiters Guild was founded by him. Was founded by him to teach others his exceptional skill in blunt weapons. At this point, it was just a normal building, right? It's gotta become legend, and thanks to the money or to the wealth of the Octarch, he built a structure in the desert. He built a structure in the desert. Not too far from the infamous cave. In the desert. Not too far from the infamous cave. Allowing Kenilir there was Smiters Guild was born, allowing Kenilir to teach others his exceptional skill in blunt weapons. I don't know. I mean, I want to say that this point was just a normal building, right? So, but normal meaning it was just a standard building. It was not, right, the one that we see. This point it was just training hall. Okay, so now here is the final chapter, which is hopefully is very short, which is basically that after his death, that I don't know how it happened and I don't care, because otherwise we'd have to invent all his death and we go on forever. So after his death, So the plug, wait a second, the plug ended when? At the end of 2070? Yeah, probably. Maybe it lasted 1 year. Maybe it lasted 1 year. Now, when did this guy died? Because I mean, it cannot be too. I think he died. I think he died tragically somehow. I don't know, but I think he died tragically. Maybe in 703, whatever. Kennelir dies tragically. We have to define how, but I don't want to define it now. Otherwise, we never finish this work. Dies tragically and is right arm. So do we have the name of the lady or not? We don't have the name of the lady, eh? The name of the current leader. We don't have it. We have to generate it. Okay, we generate it. Let's go, boys. And here the story begins. So we need a Stonehammer female.
The proud and stout Stonehammers are quite short, at most reaching 150 centimeters.
150 centimeters. It's kind of funny that we say exactly. Ah! Fuck. Mistakes were made. We have to use our version, otherwise we don't have the random generator. My boys! Hello? Anybody there? Hello? Bug or not, I fell through the floor in Amnedair, saw a strange building with 3 floors with a portal, killed a belligerent rat and entered another portal to end up in Idla Plaza. This part, well, the falling down. Hello, people. Hello. No, you are not there. Okay.
The proud and stout Stonehammers are quite short.
Are quite short, eh? Udodogam. Really not. Buste Brubru. I don't think so. Anumide. Anumide is not bad. What do you think about Anumide? Anumide is not a bad name. Does it sound dwarven enough? Nah, doesn't sound very dwarven though. Why there are so little... Let me randomize again. Ishtubr. It's a beautiful place. Rastare. Urodam. I consider that this girl will stay, right? So this is a real character, a new NPC that we are creating for the guild. And so the name that we choose will stay forever as an NPC, right? So we have to create it. We have to create something that we like. Okay. Esteri doesn't sound very dwarvish though. Dreary. We could do Dreary. But Drerim. Do we want to do Drerim? Drerim is not too bad. Drerim. Let me save it, maybe we use it. Drerim. Drerim is not bad. The problem of is it only the female that is so stupid, or wait a second. There are some that are too long. There are some that make sense and others that do not. Grotagro. For example, this one is not too bad. Like this one. It looks different anyway, male and female. Gridamom. Grok. No, Grok we cannot call it. Bradrag we cannot call it as well. Darina. Darina is not bad. Not very dwarvish though. I think that Drerim is more dwarvish. Let's go with Drerim. Okay. Last name. Hammer Smasher. Sanson Light. Spindle Rider. I think sand cannot be. I think sand cannot be in the name, right? Because I mean, they would be too cheeky that we have a building in the desert and she's called sand something. That would be very weird. Silver leg? Why? Gravel axe. I think Crusher can be in the name. I don't know Crusher what, but I think the Crusher could be in the name easily. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Do, 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 do. Sorry, I'm writing a few messages here and there. Crasher is not bad. I just don't know what she should crash. Should we? Yeah, also Quartz Crasher. I think Quartz Crasher will be a bit too cheeky because, you know, we have the crystal quill drakes, and Quartz Crasher is kind of. But I think we can. Okay, let's go. She will be called Drerim Quartz Crasher. Kennedy dies tragically, and his right arm, Drerim Quartz Crasher, takes over the Guildhall. Takes over the Guildhall, and decides to let's say to honor Kennelir, decides to gathers enough money and helpers to rebuild the Guildhall as a giant statue of Kennelir the way it looks today. Okay. Okay, the last part of the story is this. Tragically, Kennedy did not survive long after the ordeal. No. He dies really many years later. No. He's not dead. He's like 13 years later. No. He dies 13 years later for causes unrelated to the plague. Kennedy lived for 13 more years. His fame and deeds celebrated across Italy and Georgia Vera. When he eventually passed from cousin alleged to the... No, I don't want to say alleged to the plague. Fuck. He's a girl, Drerim. Drerim is a female. And anyway, we don't want to say unrelated to the plague. Kennedy lived for 13 more years. His fame and deeds celebrated across Ireland and Georgia Vera. When he eventually passed, his right hand, Drerim Quartz Kennedy, took over the Guildhall. To honor Kennedy heroes, they gathered funds and allies to rebuild the Guildhall as a monumental statue of Kennedy. The impressive structure that stands to this day. Fantastic, bro. We are done. Oh my god, how many hours it took me? How many hours it took me? It took me 6 hours. I think it's 3. I mean, it's three different streams, right? I hope not 4. I think it's three streams, 3 hours each, so it's about 9 hours. Holy moly! I mean, we also did something else in between, maybe. No. 2 streams. 2 streams, so 6 hours. 6 hours is reasonable. I mean, it's a lot, but it's reasonable. There it is. Do we want to publish it or not? It is the final story. Edit. Wow, the story is kind of long anyway. The story is kind of long. The story is kind of long, my friends. Okay, I posted it. I posted it. I think I can post it also on Patreon. Why not? Let's post it on Patreon so that people may see it just for fun. Yeah, adding some stuff to Patreon as well is not super easy, but right, in the sense that is another work, is another job inside the job, but we will try. Boom. No, like this doesn't work. Wait. To explain why it looks the way it is, right? Let me just copy this image. Oh fuck, I cannot. No. Seriously? 179. 179. There it is. It will be so the story. This final story will be disclosed disclosed in game through books or memorabilia. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. I'm copying this thing to It's not very simple though. How do I Huh? Oh fuck. He's not formatting it right. He's not formatting it right. No. Why? Let me see if I copied all including the images. Oh wow, it's copying the images as well. Really? Unbelievable. How? Well, let me see. The preview? No, I didn't copy the images. I knew it. I knew it! It looked like he could, but he didn't. In fact, I was surprised about that. Why is not? I'm trying to delete the images, but it seems not possible. Ah, okay, I did it now. 668. Wait, 600. What? 668. Huh? Yes. Seems to be working fine. Few things. Okay, it's fine. I will publish it this way. Okay, I posted it, boys. It's kind of time for dinner. I know that I arrived a bit later today, but still, I think I would like to have a normal dinner tonight, not go too late. So, okay, guys, I think that's all for today. I'm checking if there is anything else I want to do, but I think we did good. So we have the whole story written down. Now, what are the next steps? Well, the next steps are the one that we have in this list, right? So create new overlord and story. So we created it, and it is in Google Docs. So we have it there, and now we need to do the real work, right? First of all, we need to decide how this story is delivered to players, and I think the story can be delivered through books, or can be delivered through what is a normal dinner? I have a lasagna today. Lasagna, very nice lasagna. Lasagna. No, but it's not this one. It's kind of a with vegetables. So it's less heavy, because the normal lasagna is very heavy. Yeah, it's more like, exactly, it's more like this, right? So it's more like this. So it's a bit more reasonable, right? It's not crazy heavy. Even if lasagna is very, very nice. So the next step, I think will be to decide how this is going to be delivered to the players, right? I mean, it took us like 6 hours to create it, but I think the result is good. I hope you agree. I hope you liked what we created. I knew it. Fuck. I knew it. That I wouldn't do it right. Ah! Okay. Yeah, we have to decide what to do with the story, right? Because the Overlord is kind of easy. Well, it's easy. It's not done though. So let me do this. Now this line is nice, but I wanted to write the story here on the side, but it's not possible. So create new Overlord. Create background story, right? So we did that. The Overlord is not fully created yet, but is the lady Daedrim, whatever is the name, Quartz Crusher, right? Now with the background story, I think it would be nice to decide how it is delivered to players, right? So is it books, right? Is it books? Is it quest? Is it whatever it is, right? So we have to decide how this will arrive. This story will arrive to the players. And since we spend a lot of time on it, I think it may be part of the story. Maybe part of the quest, right? Some of the quest may reference the story. You may even be able to visit the cave, right? The cave that was sealed, where the Quilldrakes were born, right? You may be able to visit exactly that cave, which would be nice, right? Which would be very, very nice. Yup. So that's it, my boys. See you tomorrow evening, 9:30 p.m. European time. Meanwhile, if you want to click on follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube, you can do it. Also, you can become a Patreon if you want. And if you want to download our game is available here under download now. And you can download it for Windows, for Linux, and for Mac. Also, if you want to help us to build the game, right? There is a lot to do. So maybe you want to help. Yeah, if you want. Let me know. Bye. Bye.